So if you guys are new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoy it because today is a very, very special day. I'm not at my shop, I'm outside. It is quite hot. It is very humid, if you can tell by my hair, but I am in front of the shop that's gonna make all my dreams come true. I'm talking, of course, about the Frame Doctor shop, and this is very special and very important because this is where my McLaren is getting essentially rebuilt. Not necessarily rebuilt, it's getting fixed. All the carbon fiber damage that was apparent when we took the car apart, that is all fixed now, and this is where the car has been sleeping and getting repaired for the last month. I can't wait to see it. I really want to share this with you, and well, let's just go inside and see the car. Woo! All right, and here is the Frame Doctor himself, Joey. Thank you so much. He is the man, because right here is my McLaren, at least most of it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff missing, but the important bit is underneath here where all that damage was. And now here's where all that damage isn't. Like, this is properly insane. From what I can tell, there's, wow.
Heavy duty.
Yeah. The weave is exactly the same. This looks very, very strong, but I don't know anything about carbon fiber. You apparently know your stuff.
I mean, again, when it comes, when you first brought this to my attention, basically, it's to really look and to see what exactly was hurt. Mm-hmm. There are certain places where that I probably wouldn't go to, near the suspension.
Yeah.
Anywhere where the front or rear clip is put on.
Yeah, so somewhere like right here, if it was like cracked, or like where it bolts on.
Right. And what was really lucky about this space is that there's bulkheads. There's bulkhead here. There's an inner bulkhead there. Mm-hmm. So basically, there's a pocket here that whatever hit, you know, again, it was full of dirt and all kinds of rocks and stuff like that. So whatever hit here really drove right into this corner. The tub was hurt, but it really confided it kept it in that one space.
Okay.
So basically what you do is you remove all the old. And I think I explained before when they find a skull and the people recreate the skull with clay and all that kind of stuff. So basically brought that all back out with clay.
So like digging up dinosaur bones, that's basically what you did.
Same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then what we did was we started to lay the clay in there and brought it back out to the radius and everything that was there. And then from there, we took that away to give it the thickness.
Right. This is usually something that you use like an autoclave for. And an autoclave, for people that don't know, it's basically like a big oven that you, like a big pressure cooker type thing.
It's a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
It's a pressure vessel.
Yes.
And usually when you put something like this into an autoclave, it's under vacuum first. And then they bring the temperature up. And as they bring the temperature up inside the vessel, they then start to pull away the vacuum and add pressure.
Yeah.
And what you're trying to do then is compact.
Yeah.
It's all about compaction.
Yes.
It's about compacting the fibers as close as they can be.
That's how they do them from the factory. There are ways to fix this without going into an autoclave, but it's usually on like small cracks or if there's a hole in it or something like that. McLaren's factory service manual actually has a method of doing it, and you just basically patch it with like some panel bond, essentially.
Someone asked me how do I have the nerve to do this? Well, I mean, again, it's what I do. Number one, I repair carbon fiber bicycle frames.
Yes.
Been doing that for quite a while. Been in the composite business for 35 years. Bikes for 14 years, and anything, whatever it comes. If I think that I can do it, I do it.
Cool.
You know, pretty much the way it comes out. And there's probably speculation of, is it as strong? Is it stronger? Is it this? Is it that? I think it's strong.
Yes, I also think it's strong.
I don't think that it's stronger than it was. Again, because it's not, it's a repaired piece.
Right.
I compared it to a boat.
Yeah.
I said it's kind of like fixing a boat. And then somebody went, you know, when they went, really, like a boat? And it's like an America's Cup boat. Not like a Boston whaler, like an America's Cup boat. They're all carbon composite. When they hurt them, there's special ways of making pieces and putting it back together.
The way you did it here is you cut this entire piece out, then you flange this piece, right? So this is actually like more carbon than you originally cut out.
It was really confined to this area. It does go underneath a little bit into the bottom of the car.
Yeah.
What's really interesting is the bottom of the car is really thin. I don't know what's above the final layer down there. And again, I don't have X-ray vision.
Yes.
Although, you know.
It's good because people on the internet definitely do, okay?
Right.
And they will tell you.
But again, from the years of experience and stuff that I see, and again, grinding this out, this stuff is, this pre-preg, when you grind this, it gets everywhere. And it itches. You know that it's really good, high quality stuff.
Because of how it itches.
Oh man, it's really bad. The toughest part was actually grinding it all away and getting rid of all the damage to the point where everywhere in the hole that I cut out, everything was back to being solid again.
Okay.
You know, I could see. And then, as you were saying, I put a flange. So I went out about 3 inches and then went half the thickness of the actual tub and did all the way around. And then basically what I did was I after I did the clay and got to the point where I was happy with the shape and what I needed to do, I prepped it so that I could laminate to it. And then basically built the part. And I built the part way out past all this. Okay. And then when I popped it off, it left that flange imprint. And then when we trimmed it down to where it needed to be, it is like a perfect, it literally, before I cut the access hole out for the door hinge, it literally would just suck on there.
Yeah.
And just stay there. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, so this is obviously not something I can do on my own, but it is something that people could consider if they get in an accident with a car with a carbon tub, because, well, as long as it's not in a place where it meets up with some metal structure, or that starts getting dicey because you have different loads on that specific part.
Right. The other scary thing is normally in a boat or something like that, you could make an access panel. You can't do that with this.
I mean, you could physically. There's nothing stopping you, right?
You could have, definitely could have.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was a little weary about cutting any kind of hole. Extra hole. Yeah. But you know, when I first went to your shop, it's kind of one of the things that I did was tap. And you're really looking for that harmonious sound.
Yes, yes. Well, that's something that only an expert would know about. That sounds
really solid.
Yeah, that all sounds really solid.
And one of the things with the bicycle world, there's a thing called the tap test.
Yes. And
you basically tap on, and you tap, and you tap, and as soon as it goes dead, you know that the layers have separated.
Yes.
And all that sound is not traveling now. It stops right wherever it's separated.
Correct.
You grind that out, replace it in layers, and again with directional carbon, depending on how you put it, where you need the stiffness, where you need the strength.
Interesting. So I'm definitely going to test the structural rigidity of this, because the first thing I'm going to do is get into an accident in the exact same way. What do you think about that? I'll just bring it back and you'll fix it again, right?
It would be interesting.
Also, we fixed some pieces back here.
Yeah, there's some stuff in the back, which is regular, and then back here is basically there's a fiberglass part.
Yeah. So I mean, this gets covered up by everything. This was just broken down the middle here, and this is patched up. And this little carbon piece is also patched up. There was like a little crack in it, so that's all well and good. Right. So this car is ready to go back to my shop, and now we have we got a forklift there and a trailer, and this is going to get a little bit sketchy. But I do want to tell you, thank you very, 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 very much, because without you, this thing would be literally dead in the water. So I'm going to put all your stuff in the link in the description below. And we're definitely gonna get this going, and I really want to hear this start. You want to take a ride when it's done?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There is a thing that I do on my Instagram page. I do a cargo buy.
Yes.
And it just happens to be where we are. There's all kinds of race cars, and there's all kinds of Lamborghinis.
Yes.
And there's all kinds of Porsches. And it's crazy what goes by this doorway.
Of course,
so
yeah.
I would really love that.
Yeah, so definitely go check out his Instagram. You'll see that in the video description. But now let's get this thing on a trailer. Hopefully we don't inflict any other carbon damage, because Whew, that, I don't want to wreck this thing anymore. So we have our forklift here, and our forklift operator, you might know him.
Yeah. Big Lovable, right?
Is that what they call you? Is that your nickname in high school? So we borrowed this forklift from our friends at Vision Conveyor. They're also the people that helped me bring this car to the shop, which was a little bit sketchy. But today, we are going to just put this on the forklift. We're not going to drive it all the way to the shop. We're going to put it on the trailer, which I was assured is less sketchy.
Less sketchy because we'll be able to strap it down and have more room and a little more stable platform than bouncing forks and suspensionless tires. So now that it's fixed and we don't want to break it,
yes,
worse, we're going to be careful with it.
Jared, please don't break my car. It was very expensive.
You might be asking yourself, why is Jared riding a bike down the road in Florida? Oh dear. Turns out my borrowed bicycle's kickstand doesn't stay up well. Freddie looked at the clock and realized he had to hurry home and do father duties, like really quick. So he jumped on this bicycle, ran home, and took off to the house. So we got the Mclaren back to the shop, and I'm now having to go get the forklift so that way we can unload it and it'll be inside, nice air conditioning by the time he gets there. It's kind of nice riding a bike though.
And we are at the shop finally after many weeks. I can't believe the job that Joey did. This looks amazing, and I'm very excited to get this on the road. Now, all we gotta do is slap a rear subframe, put the new subframe in the front, then fix the engine, put the engine in, wire everything up, make sure that that's all well and good, then make sure nothing leaks, and then put the brakes on, and then put on everything else that this needs to be a car, and then we can start it up and drive it. So that's only like another few days. It's gonna take a while. Okay, now obviously this car needs a lot of work, but I am very excited to get this thing up and running. In the next episode on this car, we're gonna talk about everything I bought for the car, because over here is a nice little package that I got from the UK. There is a very big surprise in that box, and I want you guys to see it. Also, there's gonna be an update on what happened with the bank. I know a lot of you were asking whether I got my money back and whether the money actually went to where it's supposed to go. That is an interesting story, but I'll tell it another time. But until next time, this is me reminding you guys that on cars like these, that are not looking like cars very much, but will in the next, let's say, a few weeks, you guys need to build it better, and to do that, you need to wrench every day.